In Afghanistan, over 15,000 Soviet soldiers were killed. Okay, I won't be insensitive here and say that like USSR already had a lot of population and 15,000 army men just got killed won't make a huge difference to them. But still, they had families. 15,000 is not a small figure, right? It's a massive economic burden. Public dissatisfaction in USSR and contributed to collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. Massive economic burden, 15,000 soldiers were killed, public dissatisfaction, and that led to that, and damaged confidence, huge financial costs, loss of public support, and high casualties. Both ended in withdrawal. USA withdrew from Vietnam in 1973. Oh, and USSR withdrew from Afghanistan in 1989. Both withdrew without achieving their original objectives. In other words, Afghan War was the Soviet Union's version of what Vietnam was for the USA, a long, costly, unwinnable conflict that weakened the superpowers. Hence, Soviet Vietnam. Afghan Wars is known as. So, where we were. Yeah, it's okay. And capitalism versus communism. Cold War ideology. Entire Cold War was basically capitalism versus communism. Capitalism is private individuals own businesses, free market economy, free market, free trade, competition plus profit motive, democracy usually linked with it. USA was a leader of capitalist bloc. Private individuals own businesses like free market economy, and there was like democracy linked to it. Competition, profit, market. There were goals or profits, right? Communism. All property belongs to the state and community. Government controls the economy. No private ownership and classless society in theory. A classless society. Was it inspired by Karl Marx? I guess so. He was 18th century born, right? Revolutionary. This ideological clash explains why both supported countries that match the ideology. So all property, belongs to the state or community. Government controls the economy. There is like no private entrepreneur or ownership, and classless society in theory, of course, in theory. So USSR was the leader of communist bloc. Full form of USSR. So it's Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Really? It existed from 1922 to 1991. After First World War. Okay. It was commonly known as Soviet Union. Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. What does word Soviet mean? Council or assembly in Russian language, it means. Simple meaning council, community of workers, peasants or soldiers. Before and after Russian Revolution in 1917. Russian Revolution started while the First World War was going on. God. Soviets were local councils formed by workers, peasants, and soldiers. I feel like I'm again thrown into history, and it's quite interesting. These councils represented ordinary people, made decisions at the local level. Why the country was called Soviet Union? Because USSR was officially Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. Union of Republics ruled by these councils, Soviets. So the name reflects the idea of government by councils based on socialist communist ideology. So no, I don't care. It was that. This is that, and okay. So this was USSR, right? NATO versus Warsaw Pact. NATO is North Atlantic Treaty Organization. NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So Atlantic Ocean, Southern Atlantic Ocean is between like Southern America, South America, and Africa, and the North Atlantic Ocean is between North America and Europe. So Atlantic Ocean is in shape of S letter. So North Atlantic Treaty Organization, USA plus Western European countries, right? As I said, it's a military alliance between USA and Western European countries. Purpose: collective security. If one member is attacked, all members defend it. Article 5. Members: USA, UK, France. USA, UK, France. Yeah, they are Western. And West Germany. Where's my globe? Upstairs, I guess. Okay. So NATO's members. Are these the members only? It was formed in 1949. I had no idea it dates back to this much. Really? Okay, so NATO, like North Atlantic Treaty Organization, in 1949, and after 2 years of Indian independence. Okay, so military alliance between USA and Western European countries. It was for collective security. If one country is attacked, all countries will attack the attacker. Will defend it. Article 5. Will I remember it? I guess no. Members included USA, UK, France, and West Germany, etc. etc. Wait, let me check something really important here. Oh. Yeah. What? Oh. I guess. So oh. Whatever. Warsaw Pact in 1955. USSR's response to NATO. Members: USSR, Eastern European Communist states like Poland, East Germany, Hungary. Purpose: keep communist countries united, allow USSR to control Eastern Europe militarily. Both alliances turned Europe into two militarized blocks. It was counter response to NATO. Members were USSR and Eastern Europe, like Poland and East Germany, Hungary, etc. Keep communist countries united and allow USSR to control Eastern Europe militarily. So both alliances turned Europe into two militarized blocks. How this relates to Even though the Cold War ended in 1991, the NATO versus Russian tension continued. NATO versus Russian okay. Why does Russia care? Exactly. After USSR collapsed, many former Soviet states joined NATO. Poland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. Russia feels NATO is expanding toward its borders. Oh. Many former Soviet states joined NATO, like Poland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. Russia feels NATO is expanding towards its borders, threatening its security. Why Ukraine? Ukraine was part of the USSR until 1991. Very strategically important, interested in joining NATO and EU, European Union, right? European Union, I don't know. Russia wanted to prevent this. In 2014, Russia annexed Crimea from Ukraine, supported separatists in eastern Ukraine. Oh, in 2022, Russia launched a full invasion of Ukraine. Russia says NATO expansion is security threat. NATO supported Ukraine with weapons but does not send troops to avoid direct war with Russia. Kidding me? This is similar to Cold War patterns, Russia versus Western powers indirectly. Western powers, ideological versus geopolitical rivalry. Oh, that was kind of like, I feel sorry for Ukraine, but I am proud of the president, like Zelensky. Right, he's a great man with a great personality, and he's charismatic and have an attitude of a leader. Perfect man. Okay, so this was this, and I don't even know which one is more important. Like, shit. Okay, so next we'll study what is third world. The term third world originally referred during the Cold War to the group of countries that were not aligned with either first world USA and Western capitalist bloc or second world USSR communist bloc. Third world not aligned, not aligned, newly independent, and mostly developing countries. Unlike China, which actually, aligned with the Communist Party. Times of formation. The idea of third world emerged in early 1950s. Early 1950s, exactly 1952. Oh, French demographer Alfred Sauvy coined the term third world. Tiers Monde. Monde. Okay, so I guess that's it. How will I remember all this? I'm just studying anything like I want to. I will do section B in the bus. Wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. French demographer, I don't know the name, coined the term third world in 1952. He actually said tears, Tiers, Monde, Monde. Okay, so His name was Alfred. As well as Fred. Oh, butler of Bruce Wayne. Sauvy. Alfred Sauvy, a French demographer, coined the term Third World for the very first time, which is actually Tiers Monde. Okay, so it was formed in 1952. It was termed in 1952. So political formation in mid 1950s. It became a political group after Bandung Conference 1955 and non-aligned movement 1961. These events gathered countries that didn't want to join either Cold War bloc. First is, I don't remember, second is NAM 1961. What else happened in 1961? That was 1962. Oh, it was going on. Vietnam War till 1975, and then 1979 to 1989 war. Afghan War. Okay. 1952 Third World was term was created, and then it actually, the idea of Third World emerged early 1950s. Political formation mid 1950s. Bandung Conference. Will I be able to remember this? Bandung Conference 1955. Okay.